Hello, guys! Welcome back to Faith Movies. Today's movie recap will be a horror and action movie from 2022 called The Devil's Conspiracy. Warning, there are spoilers ahead. The movie starts with scientists in a biotech lab cloning famous people like Vivaldi, Galileo, and Michelangelo for a high price. Rich people are interested in having children with the genius of these icons. However, they soon aim to clone the most supreme figure, God. This follows the story of Lucifer, who challenged God's authority in heaven but was defeated by the archangel Michael and banished to the underworld. There, he was chained to a rock and vowed to rule in hell rather than serve in heaven. On earth, followers of Lucifer build a temple at the place where he fell, believing he will return to rule the world. Meanwhile, Lauren Milton, an American student, struggles to get her professor to approve her thesis that spirits are neither good nor evil. Simultaneously, a rare exhibit starts at a museum displaying the Shroud of Turin, believed to hold Jesus' DNA and evidence of his resurrection. Lauren visits the museum, where priest Marconi explains the significance of the shroud and shows her the statue of Archangel Michael said to guard it. Marconi believes only Michael can protect humanity from the devil amidst prophecies of Lucifer's return. Lauren, however, believes evil comes from within people. As the museum is about to close, a mysterious figure steals a sword from the statue. Later, as Lauren thinks she sees the statue's head move, a sinister figure sneaks up behind her. She remains unaware as she shuts the window and prepares to leave. She goes to the chapel where she witnesses a dark figure attacking the guard. She flees in terror and hides, watching as the figure breaks the glass protecting the shroud. When priest Marconi tries to intervene, he is attacked and wounded by the sword. Laura makes a careless move and the villain spots her. She commands her followers to take the shroud and they leave. Meanwhile, the seriously injured priest calls on Archangel Michael to enter his body and fight the enemies. A bright whirlwind appears and the priest revives. He tries to chase the villains, but they escape. The story shifts to a private auction where Dr. Laurent reveals that he has developed a method to grow babies from the DNA of great historical figures. He presents a reborn Vivaldi and his proud parents, followed by the new Michelangelo, which excites everyone. During the auction, a woman in black signals to the doctor, and they hurry off to the Devil's Castle. There, the doctor finally sees the shroud, intended as a new home for Lucifer. Meanwhile, Laura is taken to a room where several girls are chained and terrified, not understanding why they are there. Men come in, take Laura's blood, and photograph her. Elsewhere, Father Marconi, or Archangel Michael in his body, reaches a guard room where two monks are watching videos of the murder. Shocked to see him alive, they explain the negligence around the shroud's security. They reveal that the cardinal, who seems mentally unwell, believes in secret cults and the devil's influence and is now in their asylum. Michael takes car keys and heads to the cardinal's residence. Meanwhile, the doctor extracts DNA from blood on the shroud. The cardinal, armed, meets Michael angrily but realizes he is not Marconi. He shows Michael Lucifer's castle and suggests that his followers plan to resurrect him, recalling scriptures that predict the devil's return from the underworld. It seems the time has come for Lucifer's release, orchestrated by two entities, a woman and a creature from the underground. Throughout history, the devil's followers have sacrificed virgin bodies to find a suitable vessel for him, but human bodies are generally too weak. Only one woman has historically been strong enough to bear it. Now, with the use of Christ's DNA, science might just open the gates for the devil. Michael asks to be taken to the castle. Meanwhile, the captured girls try to come up with an escape plan and share their stories. Laura reveals her husband and son are deceased. The doctor is informed of successful DNA extraction, signaling the impending release of the devil as disturbances start in the underworld. Laura's body is found to be a perfect match for their needs. The women try to overpower their captors when they enter, but they are overpowered and taken to a laboratory where they are forcibly impregnated. Despite their resistance, Liz convinces Laura to accept her fate, suggesting Lucifer will favor her. Cardinal leads Michael to the dungeon, warning of dangers ahead, including a monstrous guardian. In the underworld, two impregnated girls are tied to a pillar. They are taken by the monster to a gate leading further down, where they are placed in an iron cage. As Lucifer approaches, sensing the potential mothers of his child, he transforms into a luminous stream and attempts to enter one of the girls, but she dies. The stream then enters Laura. Liz and her followers are thrilled, believing they have found the right vessel. Laura is placed in a glass cage, told her child will be the new Messiah. Meanwhile, Michael, disguised as a guard, infiltrates the castle, retrieves the shroud, and looks for Laura. When he finds her, she doesn't recognize him and flees. Michael catches up and explains who he is and what has happened to her. They escape together. When Liz learns the shroud is missing, she orders Laura to be captured at all costs. While Michael and Laura try to evade a monster in the castle's narrow passages, Laura is captured. She threatens to end her life and the unborn child's if not released. Meanwhile, Michael is chained in the dungeon. Determined, he breaks free from his chains. As castle guards search for the shroud, the monster senses Michael's presence. After a fierce struggle, Michael is confronted by Mammon, the demon of greed, who taunts him, saying that the gates will soon close, leaving Michael trapped in the underworld instead of Lucifer. The archangel Michael is chained to a rock with Lucifer's sword. Laura, meanwhile, sees her unborn child during an ultrasound, and the child mysteriously speaks her name, startling her. Nearby, Liz discovers this and shares a story about a brave warrior and a tyrant who are equals. The tyrant wanted the warrior as his slave, but the warrior refused and planned to fight back. Laura, not flattering the demon, is slapped by Liz, who then explains the transformations in Laura's body are necessary to support the divine child. Laura rejects her role as the mother of this mysterious being. Elsewhere, individuals who are subjected to Lucifer approach Michael, chanting an oath of salvation and recognition. They discover it's Michael and demand proof, but he lacks his sword to verify his identity. They are then attacked. Meanwhile, Lucifer revisits Laura, convincing her to accept the birth of the child, promising her freedom afterward. Laura envisions herself with her baby, but eventually breaks free, attacking the guards violently. Horrified by her actions, she locks herself in a warehouse and ingests chlorine. Liz finds her, warning that Lucifer will soon completely consume her, promising peace thereafter. In a surge of strength, Laura attacks Liz, spewing the contents of her stomach at her. Lucifer speaks through Laura, demanding Liz's death once he is born. Laura is then imprisoned in a glass sarcophagus to safeguard her pregnancy. Back in the underworld, Lucifer mocks Michael, proposing an alliance, but Michael rejects. However, Lucifer thanks him, mischievously revealing the body he possesses, Jesus's, not his own. This leads Michael to a revelation. It is not Lucifer's child Laura carries, but Christ's. He urges those around him to retrieve his sword, despite the demon's proximity and the sword's weight. Two men brave the danger to free Michael, who then dispels the demons and vows to return for those who saved him. Michael returns to Earth, finds the shroud, and approaches Laura's sarcophagus. He tries to explain that her child will defeat the evil, not serve him. However, Laura rejects this, pushing Michael away. Laura stands over Michael, telling him her water is breaking. Hot jets pour onto the archangel, causing him intense pain and weakening him. Laura forces Michael down and digs her fingers into his neck. With his remaining strength, Michael insists that the devil won't control the child, who is destined to defeat Lucifer because the blood of Christ is inherently good and stronger than evil. Enraged, Laura pushes Michael away and starts to destroy everything around her, but then she goes into labor. The devil's followers gather in the castle courtyard, and Liz takes the newborn baby away. Laura is thrown down a well, while a monster with a chained weapon starts attacking everyone in the courtyard. Meanwhile, Michael recovers and confronts the chaos. Liz escapes with the child. Michael rescues Laura, who has managed to cling to the edge of the well, and they catch up to Liz's car. Laura retrieves her baby. Michael tells Laura to find the cardinal and then seals the entrance to the underworld, but the monster reopens it. Michael then detonates explosives he had set earlier, causing the castle to explode, much to the cardinal's relief. Later, the cardinal and Laura, holding her child, return the shroud to the temple. Michael descends into the underworld to free those who believed in him. Meanwhile, Liz watches from a distance as Laura and the now older child walk through the woods. She calls out to the child as Lucifer, and he turns, showing a dark mist coming from his nose before turning away. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe. Your support is appreciated. Remember, Jesus loves you. Have a blessed day, and see you next time.